Welcome back to another episode of The Hangover. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about, but we're here. We showed up, and we're gonna deliver because we deliver.
This is a two-man show today.
Except Waterfast, we don't deliver on that.
But how many days are you in right now? We're not gonna talk about it. Just want to know.
I'm not eating till Sunday.
When did you start?
Sunday.
You started last Sunday?
Nah, bro, broke that shit.
When did you start though?
2 days ago.
Peace. I was like, you're about over 50, 60 hours.
We're doing 5 days, so backwards from Sunday.
Nice. So you started Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, today's Thursday.
We ate pretty late though.
Nice.
Yeah.
Feeling good?
Is it working? A little bit. Damn, this camera looks good. Holy shit.
Dude, that pose is your master pose.
From high school, huh?
That's
With the
insane.
traps?
You've always had it.
Yeah,
When
that's
we were
my
recording,
shit.
You would pop up.
Yeah, I remember we'd do that when have the pool parties in the backyard. So funny.
It's so funny. I had no idea we were calling it EBC because of the fucking Encore Beach Club.
Yeah.
Oh,
Eddie's Beach Club, Encore Beach Club.
Dude, those are popping ass days.
Yeah, they were fun.
Yeah. Have we talked on pod already about how we basically made our own fraternity because none of us went to college?
I think you've said that a couple times,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's on record. I'm pretty sure it is though.
Yeah, it's funny. We legit made our own fraternity. None of us.
Yeah.
A few of us went to community college. Some of us started working directly.
Mm-hmm.
But we had this funny, demented, savage kind of brotherhood.
For sure.
But the cool part is most of us are all still fucking friends to this day, 10 years later.
Yeah. Did you find cutters or no?
Yeah.
You did? Oh,
These are
perfect.
the ones I carry around.
You cut already?
Yep.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Party stuff was fun.
I was smoking cigars for years, and I'm still learning how to do it. Chef's always lecturing me how to do it right.
Oh yeah, I'm chef went crazy.
Random Rob.
Let's get it. Yeah, Della had to do some stuffs.
And handle some business.
We don't know what it is, but he's handling some stuff.
And it's funny. We can ask him, but we'd rather not. So we'd rather speculate.
Just let him handle his stuff.
It's fine. He working.
He working. That boy working. No, I don't know what's going on. Just, you know,
Yeah.
Della doing Della stuff.
The boys had my back 2 weeks ago, so it's cool. We're always. That's a good thing about three-man show. Some shit happens.
When am I gonna have a day off?
That's the only problem.
When am I gonna have a day off? Oh man.
This is what I love about Chef though. You don't like no days off.
I'm calling in next week. Like that shit. I'm gonna come set it up and just leave.
That'll be fine, bro.
That'd be funny. Huh?
I'm gonna put this on record now so I can do it.
That's me, the one that goes viral. It's like, oh, we fucking hate that guy. That'd be funny. I'm gone. And it's like, oh, this is the one that takes off. It's like, finally he's gone.
The TikTok comments probably like, finally, dude.
He's always trying to motivate us and shit. We don't want that shit. That's funny.
All right, I'm saying this to put myself accountable, hold myself accountable. I have a segment idea for me. I just want to run like clips for myself. The segment's called "Hear Me Out,"
All right.
and then I try to convince you why Trump's tariffs might work out.
All right, go.
Or no, not right now.
Start
but
it. Is there a timer?
Is I hate about it.
Here you go. Accountability, man. You want to do it?
No,
Do
real
it.
quick, but let's talk more about the logistics and production of it. What would be if I run it through TikTok, IG, and YouTube Shorts? What would be the best kind of content length for like a segment covering a topic and being the whole point is to be like devil advocate on it. So, let's hypothetically speaking, I want to hear me out, and then Trump's tariffs, and I try to convince you why it might work out with research and backup and some opinion, obviously. What do you think would be a good format as far as length? Chef's the algo guy.
Alcohol. Yeah, I don't know. I think videos have been pushed to 3 minutes, or what was it? Because we've tested a few videos over 2 minutes. I really don't know, bro. I don't even know too much about the politics shit to even know how much time you need to put your point across. You know
that's up to me. I could do it, but
yeah.
I was wondering as far as content. It depends on subject, I guess.
I think if you summarize, like, you would go into length, you would talk about whatever you want, and at the end you summarize, and then you say the headline again too, Trump's tariffs, and then you kind of just summarize briefly and give your 3 points, like if you're doing a sale.
Yeah,
So then
yeah.
now in the clip, you have a longer form of information for the podcast, but you strategically compartmentalized it into a shorter time window
Yeah.
for the clipping software to pick it up. So
Yep.
it's like all the information is just condensed.
Yep.
And you don't really lose the people that are watching because you
Yeah.
kind of like already talked about everything. You know what I mean?
It's gonna need some gas, I think. Let me grab a
Some
lighter.
Some gas.
I'm gonna grab a lighter. Hold on.
All right. Well, it's just me by myself. I only know stuff about music and motivation, so you guys are kind of fucked. Oh, he's back. He's back.
I hate shit. I hate it.
We saved them.
Left by myself like always. Only child.
Just lonely, you know. Everyone just keeps leaving me,
But
but they always come back. Yo.
That's so funny. It's always been a joke. When we used to live at the trap, people would come and go, and
They always come back.
and they would leave. And we were like, "They'll be back." They always come back.
They always come back.
Yeah. You ready for summer?
No, I don't have a 6-pack yet. You're asking the wrong person that question, bro.
I know. Chef's so funny, bro. I keep telling him he's looking great, but he's never satisfied. Which is a gift and a curse. Which is why he's gonna be a millionaire one day.
I have like this 5-pack thing going where like you can see my 4 abs, but the fat at the bottom, you know, just won't leave. But it doesn't help when you eat sushi 7 days in a row.
Oh, so you get the abs upstairs eat faster?
Yeah, they come and go though. After too much sushi, they go away, and then I lock in for a little bit, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're getting close, and then I fuck it up again, and then it's like, you know,
Yeah.
it's just habits.
Yeah. That's what my guilty pleasure. I know when I'm eating too much or being fat. First, I've got my belly pretty more flat than ever, but my love handles coming. They go up and down. That's why I know I've been sinning. And then
Sinning.
I was learning about love handles. When your cortisol levels are more messed up, you're more likely to store fat right there. And then it's like the chicken or egg. So I don't know what comes first, but if your cortisol levels are messed up, you're most likely because you're stressing a lot too. So that will affect your cortisol levels.
What's your logical answer to that? The chicken or the egg?
I think the egg. But just to me, it's like a 50-50. I'm just picking egg. Some animal had the fucking egg and it ended up being the chicken.
You don't think that the animal evolved into the chicken that was able to lay down the egg?
I think
because of evolution, you know what I mean?
I'm thinking out loud, yeah.
Or someone laid an egg and it was like a deformed egg that became a chicken.
Because I was thinking, even if the let's say the egg is hatching as a chicken, what the fuck's gonna mate with that chicken? You need a rooster still. Here we go.
Don't chickens just lay eggs without mating?
Yeah, that's technically their periods, but those aren't fertile. They're not gonna become anything. They're just eggs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the ones we eat.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I guess it's technically.
Wow.
Vegans try to trip you out and say like.
Whoa! It just hit me. Yeah.
Vegans try to trip you out and say you're eating chicken periods. So I'm like, so.
So, healthy protein.
Exactly. It's one of the most sourceful and healthy food in the world. If you gotta pick like one per food, you say broccoli, egg, meat, whatever.
Most nutrient dense.
Yeah, eggs, bro.
These are fire.
I guess the prices finally went down a little bit.
Yeah.
Eggs one of the things, bro. I'm broke. Don't get me wrong, but I don't even check the price of eggs. Like I want eggs no matter what. It is what it is. It's going in the cart no matter what.
$1 egg.
Yeah. I saw someone post on it's probably TikTok, but it ends up on IG. She's like, I just came from the dispensary and now I'm going to my friend's house to buy some eggs off her. What the fuck's going on now? I'm buying weed legally and I'm buying eggs on the low from.
That's so funny.
That was funny.
Weed's more profitable or what?
For real. Let me light this real quick.
All right, you guys are stuck with me today. When you woke up, did you meditate? Did you work out? I'm just kidding. Yeah, it definitely is interesting how long eggs were unavailable on Costco and shit like that, bro. Like it was around that time of the California fires. I thought they were related for some reason, but I guess it was a chicken flu or something, a bird flu, right?
Yeah. Where the Biden administration, they supposedly destroyed like hundreds and hundreds, killed hundreds of chickens. Bro, that's where the conspiracy got me on. They did that shit on purpose, low key.
Oh, there's some conspiracy behind it.
Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracy behind it.
Everything's conspiracy.
Yeah, but it is true. The Biden administration, before Trump came in, did order, because there was a bird flu going on.
Yeah.
Just in case, to destroy all the. Excuse me. Kill all those chickens, so the bird flu doesn't. But bro, it's really difficult for animal flu to transfer to human. I'm thinking on record, it's never really happened. So, but it doesn't change the fact that it can affect the food. I get that. It can affect the eggs. Yeah, that's different. But it doesn't change the fact that you can go down a little few rabbit holes. And this was, I don't have to get too deep. It's just like kind of like a supply and demand thing. Just start a little scare. Any kind of thing like that. A little propaganda.
Yeah. Yeah, how's your optimism looking on this whole economy thing with like Trump being back and stuff? I'm pretty sure you know more about it than I do.
Oh, I was thinking of the analogy how to explain this. So
you want me to hear you out?
So someone like me, I work in construction, so I have overhead. Like I pay fuel, I pay driver payroll, and then parts, stuff like that. And then we've all experienced, bro, inflation where the dollar is worth less, right? So to me, I feel like we've been in a recession. I've been feeling it. The economy was down, as in the work demand was down too. So to me, we've been in a recession. But if you looked at the stock market, it wouldn't say so. You would think the economy is doing well. Usually, the stock market kind of reflects how the economy is doing. So for the longest, the stock market was doing well. And I was like, it doesn't make sense. It's not really representing what's going on in the economy. And then the one good explanation out there was we printed so much money since 2020, bro. I think like they say like, forgive me, the stats kind of off, but they say up to like 50% or even more of the money that's flowing around today was printed in 2020.
Really?
Yes. So that's crazy. So inflation is literally when you create money out of nowhere. So you make the dollar, the power of the dollar worth less because you put more dollars out there with no backing other than like, hey, we need to make more.
Right.
So inflation goes up, dollars worth less, fuel goes up, houses are worth way more, blah blah blah. So, but the stock market's still doing good, and even though I'm feeling it, I've been feeling this for like the past year. Like there's a recession going on. You can feel it. Like outside, people are struggling.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, Trump hits the tariffs. The stock market finally crashes. To me, the market's finally correcting itself. Because when you hear the market crashes, what does that mean? To most people, like, what do you mean the market crashes? People are trying to sell, liquidate their stocks. So if everybody's selling at the same time, imagine this is the stock market, big old, the whole table of the stock market, and this is in the ashtrays the actual amount of cash available. So if everybody's trying to liquidate and there's only this amount of cash, your stock's actually worth way less than you thought. So this is his way of like correcting the market. Like, all right, guys, let's be realistic. Let's not say you're all worth this when in reality it's not. Obviously, there's only this amount of cash.
Right.
So all right, the market finally corrects itself. People liquidate their stocks. So when the economy's doing bad, what people usually do, they'll get out of the stock market and they'll put into treasury bonds, aka government bonds, because they're so for sure. It's basically you're letting the government borrow money and they pay you back in a 30-year interest rate.
Right.
It's 5%, but it's for sure money, and then the government uses that to pay out their debts or whatever. So that's how. When the stock market crashes, the Federal Reserve drops their interest rate. So the lower the interest rate, that's what Trump wants, because the lower the interest rate, that's when he wants to pay back the debt, because you'll spend less money. Does that make sense? Like a credit card company, if your credit card company is 20% interest rate, and for a reason they drop it to 5%, that's when you want to pay it back right there, because that's when you're going to spend the less. So that's one theory why he's doing it. So you can pay back the debt at we'll say at 50 cents a dollar instead of for a dollar. So that's that, and then and then he's also leveraging these other countries, bro. We've been Mr. Nice Guy for the longest, bro. We could argue about if terrorists are bad or not. Okay, so perfect. People say terrorists are stupid. Then why are we letting all the other countries have terrorists on us?
Right.
They've always had terrorists on us. So let's argue. Let's tell them that's stupid. Let's drop the tariffs. So he's literally doing eye for an eye. All right. So he's matching their energy, and now these other countries are finally dropping their tariffs, and so they're finally coming to the table to fairly negotiate with us. It's because we've been the nice guy and the baller in town, but we're being realistic now, bro. Like, hey, we're in debt too here, dude. Come on. But it's just Trump does it very obnoxiously. But
I like it.
Yeah. So okay, stock market took a shit, and then but the real battle here is with fucking China, bro. So when people say we can't survive without China, he's dumb. What are we thinking? I always think, it doesn't bother you the words you're saying that we can't survive without China. That shit bothers me as an American.
Damn.
Like we shouldn't. We're the greatest country in the world. We shouldn't have to be able to. When COVID hit, China played dumb. They didn't send certain medical stuff, and then and certain stuff like we can't send it. It's COVID, blah blah. They wanted to show U.S. like, hey, don't get it twisted here, buddy. You need us. And Trump was watching, and he learned like we need a wake up call. And people say, well, we should have done it more slower. There's a better way to do it. Yeah, but if you want like real change, bro, you gotta do it abruptly and obnoxiously and just radically. Even though it's gonna get a little ugly, that's why I do feel for businesses. Some businesses are gonna get affected, like a business that rely on their products to come from China, and let's say the tariffs are 100% now, they're gonna have to pay. Let's say they pay $5 a unit for whatever socks or something. Now it's gonna be $10. So I do feel for them. It's gonna affect them the most, like small businesses that rely on China products.
Yeah.
But
is all this set already, or they're still talking about how much they're gonna?
It's been set. But
so
I
people
think,
are already being affected.
But what people are not talking about, the China. It's called the UN. I don't know how to pronounce it. YUAN. It took a shit too, and their market's taking a crash too. They're getting affected by it. So Trump's playing chicken here. We're like, all right, come on, who needs more? Because China's economy relies heavily on the U.S. economy.
What do they get from us that they have to import or what?
No, but they get our dollar. So
I thought tariffs was for like shipping stuff in for import export.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So China has a huge export business, right? Where they export a lot. And
yeah.
So U.S. is one of the biggest consumers.
Right.
So they make hundreds of billions of dollars off us every year.
Mm-hmm.
So if Trump puts the tariffs on it, it's gonna make people not want to buy, because what's the point? We can't afford it.
Right.
So if they can't afford it and China can't sell it, China loses billions of dollars every year. So they're losing billions of dollars every day with these tariffs, potentially.
So who pays the tariff? Like, if China is making profit because they're shipping stuff here, do they pay a tariff for even getting it into our border or into our country?
Let's ask ChatGPT. This is where it gets confusing. I've seen multiple things. Supposedly, I think the importer should pay it. Let's ask it.
That's where my mind was at.
Yep.
That the person that is receiving the goods is the one paying the tariffs, which is why China raising tariffs affects us so much. So if we raise our tariffs onto them, like what type of goods are they getting from us that, would be more affected? Because we can say, hey, look, we're going to raise your tariffs as well. But if China is, let's just use numbers, 80% of the stuff being shipped back and forth, 80% is China shipping to U.S., then are they really being affected that much by that 20% that's being raised by our tariffs? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right, who pays tariffs? Or cost?
Yeah. We're asking ChatGPT, the homie G.
Yeah, so tariffs are taxes on imported goods, but who actually pays for them? Short answer, the buyer in the importing country usually pays the cost. So if the U.S. places tariffs on Chinese goods, American businesses and eventually American consumers usually end up footing the bill.
Yeah. So the whole...
What the fuck? I'm so confused.
No, that's it. Simple as that. So what happens? So right now, all these... So when you have I was learning about this. When you say let's say you're American business that buys product from China, all those products go through U.S. Customs, and once they get to U.S. Customs, you got to pay the U.S. Customs a tariff, and then they'll release the products for you.
Mm.
You know when you ever go to Colombia or whatever, they ask you if you have any goods or service, blah blah blah.
No.
That's the tariff you have to pay. that make sense?
Yeah.
So, but the U.S. never had any tariffs on anybody. We just allowed everything to come in.
Oh, okay. So, okay, I was confused because, all right, this is the breakdown. The foreign seller doesn't pay the tariff directly. The importing company like Walmart or Target pays it when the goods arrive at customs. That company then raises prices to make up for the cost.
Yep.
So you, the end consumer, often pay more without realizing it's because of tariffs.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Because the way that it was worded was that when the U.S. raises tariffs, the Americans have to pay more. But I guess it was indirectly.
But what people don't realize is all these countries always had tariffs on the U.S. So it always desensitizes. What's that? How you say insensitize? But the opposite word,
What, desensitize?
Yeah.
Desensitize. Oh, woo! Desensitize. Whew.
It basically discourages foreign countries and consumers to take American products because they're going to pay a little extra because there's always been tariffs on American products going to other countries.
Right.
So Trump's finally matching their energy. Like, yo, I need you guys to drop these tariffs. So the only way to do that, you fucking put tariffs on them. So okay, perfect. Okay, and then let's fast forward yesterday. He put tariffs on everybody, right? The market crashes, and then he tweets out, "Right now is a great time to buy. Announcement coming soon." And then 4 hours later, he announces, I put a pause on all tariffs for the next 90 days so we could all negotiate except China. And boom, the stock market goes up.
So funny.
Because China's the main problem, bro. We need them back at the table and negotiate, bro. They have the way better end of the stick right here. They got too used to it. We need to renegotiate. It doesn't make sense business wise how we're giving them so much money and we're not getting much back. So right. and it's bigger picture too, bro. It's about like it comes down to like so China makes a lot of our pharmaceutical stuff too, and that was a problem during COVID when COVID happened. You couldn't get certain medication supposedly because the shipping was down because of COVID or whatever. But I think that was them flexing. So we need to encourage companies to start making shit here, bro. Yeah, it's gonna take years. It's gonna take a long time.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, sometimes it has to get really ugly to make it happen.
Right.
But I don't think it's gonna get that ugly now. He paused a lot of tariffs on the rest of the country, and I think China's gonna cave. Let me show you this real quick. People don't realize how Trump's always been pretty upfront on how he negotiates. So someone asked ChatGPT, please briefly explain The Art of the Deal. That's Trump's book he wrote years ago before he even ran for president. Art of the Deal is basically how he negotiates. Please briefly explain the art of the deal for people because he put idiots. If I don't want to say, for people who still don't understand how Trump operates even after decades of him using the same strategy for everything. Please be concise. The art of the deal is Donald Trump's negotiating strategy that he has used consistently for decades. Here are the key elements. 1. Start with an extreme position to create room for compromise. 2. Use attention-grabbing statements to control the narrative and put the other side on the defensive. 3. Create a sense of urgency to pressure the other side into making concessions. And then you've already seen like Vietnamese, Taiwan, other countries say, we're going to take our tariffs off.
Mm-hmm.
So other countries have been coming to the table. 4. Keep the other side guessing about your true intentions and bottom line. 5. Be willing to walk away if the deal doesn't meet your standards. Bro, those are not bad, great negotiating tactics. Okay, so China also runs the Panama Canal.
Mm-hmm. And
we paid to build that shit. We built that shit back in the early 1900s, and then we sold it to Panama for $1. It's like, here, thanks. But low-key, like, we're daddy around here still. China came in, and then China came and bought it. AKA a company bought it, which any company from China is owned by China.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to get that back. So it's all about shipping now, bro. The shipping lanes. So we're trying to get the Panama Canal. You keep hearing about we're gonna buy Greenland.
Mm-hmm.
That's another shipping. We want Greenland because they're so close to right there by Russia. There's another shipping lane for. So it's about logistics, bro.
Yeah,
it's just territory. It just I think we forgot. We got so used to the Biden administration. He didn't do much. We're kind of stale. Maybe that's what Americans like, but for big picture, bro, it's not good. The economy was still too. So he's making moves. Is obnoxious. Some people disagree, but at least we're moving. We're making choices.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's just like making waves in the water, bro.
There's a famous quote from Jesus on the Bible. He's big talking to somebody, and someone was very blah, like he was kind of like on the fence, and he was telling them, I spit out anything bland. Either I don't mind cold, I don't mind hot, but if you're bland, I spit you out. Don't sit on the fence, buddy. And I've been guilty of that shit sometimes.
Damn, he said that?
Yeah, Jesus said that. Jesus was a feisty little guy.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's funny. I was gonna ask before I didn't want to talk about the whole tariff stuff. I was really gonna ask you how's your morning routine looking like lately? I saw someone post the other day. It was a girl. She's like, you know what I learned? The morning routine doesn't really matter. But I think, cause you know how there's a lot of guys. You seen that black dude that's been going viral? Oh, you haven't been online lately.
I don't know who he is, though.
Yeah,
fucking Saratoga water dude.
Yeah. And he's big on morning routine. That's the whole thing.
So my morning routine is always dictated by how much work I have. I feel like if I have leisure time to like really lock in my morning routine, I will. But when work and people are blowing me up and I know I'm behind on stuff, I just wake up and start working. So the past 2 weeks have been kind of just like, all right, work. Okay, now I got time to do this. All right, now let me do this. But yeah, before it was like wake up and meditate. Now I'm like, all right, wake up, work. Okay, if I have time to do everything else, I will. So it hasn't really been locked in like how it used to be. Yeah, but my life is very controlled by work. Like it's I always put work before everything else. And even Alex Hormozy says it too. It's like, bro, there's nothing in your life that will change you more than action. So if like he doesn't believe in like meditating and doing shit like that, you know what I mean? I do it because it makes me feel good. It like gives me that calmness, peace of mind in making decisions. But sometimes you wake up and you look at your phone and you're like, fuck, I gotta deliver on all these different things. And my job is very seasonal to where like when it's hot, it's hot. You take advantage of every opportunity because there's gonna be times where, okay, I have time to meditate for 3 hours and not do shit all day. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been very, very action driven the past couple weeks.
That's cool. That's cool to hear. Yeah, because you know, sometimes people feel pressured or feel like judged because they don't have like a legit morning routine and stuff.
Yeah.
But I saw Jeff Bezos, a freaking billionaire. He was interviewed, asked him about his morning routine. He's like, honestly, I get up, just kind of just linger.
Well, you know what really opened my perspective and kind of changed the way that I was approaching stuff? I don't know if it's good or bad yet because I'm still testing it. Was when Jovi was here. He was talking about his conversation with God. He was like, yo, like your connection with God doesn't have to be like on the floor praying or kneeling or whatever. Like I just talk to him throughout the day. Yep. So like I kind of adopted that of, you know, I might not have, you know, that time to sit down anymore, but now as I'm going out throughout my day, I'm just constantly always talking to God or like in a constant meditative state. It could be a cop out for not having that discipline of like, okay, let me meditate first like I did before. But
no, there's something to it, bro.
I would like to say it's been working. Do I feel like there's a closer connection to God and yourself when you're sitting down meditating in isolation? Yes. But like go back to doing that 100%, you know, but it kind of opened my mind up a little bit too. It's like I can't beat myself up if I have so much shit to do that I don't get those things done, because I'm very like, okay, I didn't get it done, now I'm a piece of shit, the rest of my day is ruined. Yep. So I've been kind of being a little bit easier on myself, seeing as how Jovi is such a high operator and he's able to accomplish so much every single day and do so many great things that I'm like, all right, he's a person who's very hard on himself. He has a relentless mindset, and even he understands like not every day is going to be on point, but as long as I still cater to that spirit, to that mentality, to God, and in my own ways, there is no right or wrong way to do it. Nope. So that's what I took from him, and I was like, okay, cool. I shouldn't stress out if I don't immediately wake up and go meditate. Like, it's okay. Like, let me go get this work done because I know there's deadlines. Okay, cool. Once that's done, all right, cool. I'm sitting down. All right, cool. Let me sit here and have my conversation, my talk. I don't have to be sitting there cross. Like, it doesn't have to be this whole fucking ceremony type of thing.
Yeah. The irony behind it, huh? Because you almost start judging yourself, putting yourself shame because you're not
So it backfires.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, you're supposed to be doing it as a routine to lift up your spirits, but when you don't do it, it kind of backfires of like, now it just did the complete
But the cool
opposite.
part is that's how you know the routine has helped you, because now you don't put yourself down for missing it. Because the whole point of the routine is to just make yourself a better person, to keep progressing.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, because bro, life happens, bro. Life don't give a fuck about a routine.
Yeah, I've been taking more pride in my work too now too, though. You know. Yeah.
That's something I've had to learn in my early 30s. Take pride in your work, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had to. I know I've talked about this endless times, but I'm guilty of having a survivor kind of mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're surviving, you don't really take pride in your work. But ironically, to get out of the survivor mode is to take pride in your work.
Yeah.
That's when you should let your ego shine.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you ask though? How's your morning routine?
I was just curious because.
Okay.
You're a beast. So it's always fun to see. I live vicariously sometimes through your discipline.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just crazy being in front of Jovi and like hearing him talk about his discipline. I'm like, fuck, there's levels to this shit, and he makes me feel like a bitch.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, the whole time he's talking, I'm like, damn, I'm not doing enough. I'm like, okay, well maybe I need to stop sitting around for 2 hours reading, journaling, meditating, and just get up and work, and then just throughout my day, just bits and pieces do it.
You go.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Like, say what you want about church and stuff, but it makes sense why. And the Bible is like they make a Sabbath day for like a day to just unwind, go to church, thank God, blah blah. Kind of makes sense. Because everyday life, even back then, everybody had their freaking everyday life. You got to get to work. The cows got to be fed.
Yeah, but I can say though, when you feel like you have complete control, because right now I feel like I'm losing control of my life, and I'm kind of just doing it as life is going. But when you do have that morning routine and it's like you prioritize it, I feel like it gives you more sense of control throughout your day of life. So that's the only difference. Is like, I think it's a cop out, honestly. After doing it for the past 2 or 3 weeks, I think it's like you're convincing yourself that I'm still doing it, but I still think it's not the right way, because I do feel better when I sit there and meditate. I feel like I'm taking it more serious in a weird way, you know? Yeah. But it doesn't have to be every single day or like, you know what I mean?
It's something like you.
But it feels better.
You're always at your studio, so sometimes you gotta change. You're not really changing scenery. So you gotta change mindset sometimes.
Yeah.
So that doing that routine might help you keep certain mindsets. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it sounds like you're gonna have to go back to it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I'm an idiot, bro. I fucking hurt my. I was posting all this content about hiking. It was so much fun. But no one knows I fucking hurt my foot bad.
How bad was it?
Pretty bad, bro. I didn't roll nothing. That's how I know I'm way in better shape. I used to sprain my ankle. I didn't sprain it. It was just all bruised. Yeah. I basically jumped from one boulder to another, and I jumped so excited I wasn't paying attention. I landed on my heels on the base of my foot, and they're fucking bruises. I think I landed on my left one first, or maybe my left was weaker, but my left one was all bruised. I couldn't walk on it for the first day.
That's funny.
So now I got a little limp. I've been freaking showering it with CBD cream. It's been doing work. So now I'm feeling way better. But my whole point is I've been missing the gym. I've been working a lot still. Ironically, people say we're going to a recession. I feel like the most work I've seen in fucking months.
Yeah, I forgot who I was talking to. I was like, man, I've been so fucking busy. And then my friend was like, why? What happened? I was like, honestly, I think it was taxes.
Yeah.
I was like, I think it was taxes, because now everyone's asking for beats, for sessions, for mixes. So I've been getting it while it's hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's for sure.
So that's what I'm saying, bro. After tax season, like, there's a huge boost in business. You know.
But that's a yearly thing. That always happens. Car sales.
Yeah.
Furniture.
But if you look back at the podcast episodes, like when it was slow, winter, it's like, oh yeah, wake up, meditate, I do this, and I'm just lingering around doing my routine, convincing myself I'm doing work. But now that actual work is here, it's like, oh shit.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What have you been having the most fun making lately, creative-wise music?
Reggaeton shit, like Latin music. I have a lot of big songs with artists in Colombia, some Venezuelan artists, Mexican artists, but it's like shit that no one even knows I'm working on, bro. Shout out to Pierre. So me and Pierre have kind of been tag teaming a lot of production for bigger Colombian artists. I'm not talking about just regular people, big ass artists, bro, international people. So it's exciting that all this stuff is happening. There's a huge sense of fulfillment while doing this stuff. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what's gonna happen, bro. Because I've always joked about it with you too, like, oh, I'm gonna end up making reggaeton beats, and like, I might end up moving out there type shit. I don't know if I'll move out there. Like, I'll visit very frequent, but it's just cool that joking around 2 years ago, now opportunities are just popping up left and right, and it's like, what the fuck?
That's cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I've heard your songs, bro. They're dope. Your beats are dope too.
But it's funny because no one ever knows what I'm doing, bro.
Yeah.
And that's the interesting part about like the space that I'm in. Because I've been off of social media for the most part. I'll go on my computer and check it here and there. I'll reinstall just to check stuff. But that's been a huge dopamine cleanse too. Is like staying off of Instagram and kind of just focusing on what's happening here. Just like being more locked in, because it's so easy to get lost in that digital world. And I don't know. I like being disconnected from the world, bro. It's more peaceful.
I was telling our boy Hondro, he's in sales, he's killing it, and that's one thing I was gotta give you credit for, bro. I was like, say whatever people say about you. One thing I get, you just fuck whatever.
What do they say about me? What do they say?
I was like, one thing, you don't get lost in the sauce too much, like.
Yeah.
And I was like, the only person like that too is Chef. Like you've probably been the best since like 2019. Be able to just stay offline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use it for what is needed. Yeah. Yeah. I think what helps too is I have like a management company handling my account, so it still has a lot of interaction, and followers are constantly growing. I do admit I could do a better job of communicating. If you look at my DMs, are just full of people that are like wanting to do stuff or trying to work, but it's like I'm already doing a lot of work, and it's like a blessing, but I'm at the point now where I need to start putting a team together and delegating a lot of work, because it's like a lot of stuff going on. You know what I mean? And it's cool though, because it makes me feel like I'm leveling up to the next part of my life and career, where I'm like, damn, I need a team. Yeah. I need a fucking team now.
I was talking to our other boy. I'm not gonna put his name out there, but he's killing it in his business, and he just did his taxes, and he's like, he has to pay $40K in taxes, and he's like, fuck, blah blah, right? And then the tax lady's like, is that they're trying to get all the expenses you give me? He's like, that's all you got? He's like, yeah. She's like, oh. And then boom, $40K bill.
Sheesh.
But luckily he's gonna be able to pay it, whatever. And I was like, bro, but like, this is good problems to have, bro. Now next year we gotta figure out how to pay less,
for sure,
but scale it. I was talking to him, thinking out loud, like, problems are never gonna stop. So you want good problems. Good problems. It's you have some good problems here as far as work.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's definitely interesting navigating the whole business side of it, because it's like used to just make beats for a few people. Now it's becoming like a brand versus a person. Now it's like I understand why a lot of bigger DJs or producers have teams or ghost producers,
managers.
Like, I've been having like 2 or 3 other beat makers start making beats for me too that I can start selling. So it's like now it's becoming a whole system.
Bro, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're gonna need a manager soon.
A manager, but also I have like other producers under me as well that are starting to create beats, and then I'm kind of like, all right, well, let me touch up this, let me fix this, and it saves a lot of time, and I'm able to still help out younger producers as well. So it's pretty cool seeing how all that's coming. Like shit's changing, bro. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
People
gonna start calling you OG. You ready?
I'm already getting called Unk and shit, bro.
Those fucking Gen Z, they do it on purpose too, huh? They know what they're doing, little trolls.
Yeah, becoming an OG now though. It's crazy.
In the Vegas scene for sure.
Yeah.
It's cool now. You're working internationally. That's the goal, anyways.
International, baby.
It's bigger markets.
Yeah.
And the Latin market's so huge.
People forget I'm Mexican too, bro.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. It's
well,
like, bro,
you know,
in my blood.
But people don't forget. A lot of people don't know.
Oh yeah, people don't even know I'm Mexican, bro. Like I was made to make reggaeton, bro.
For real.
Be doing my shit.
You are Latin at heart, especially East Side.
Yeah. As Mexican as they come.
Little Mexico over there, bro.
Yeah, we went to an ice cream shop fucking a few days ago.
Michoacán?
Yeah, La Michoacán, La Real de Michoacán, right? and I was there with Hunter and shit. And then I'm speaking to a lady in English saying that he wanted to try stuff, and I just started speaking Spanish and shit. And Hunter was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Yeah, I speak Spanish, bro." He was like, "For real?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Mexican." He's like, "But you can speak it?" I'm like, "Yes, bro." He's like, "Why don't you say it? Why don't you say you can speak Spanish?" I'm like, "Because I don't like to speak it, bro. So I don't tell people, because then they'll make me want to speak it."
And it's pretty good too, bro.
Yeah.
As far as like, if people don't know you're Mexican, they would think like, "Damn, this Asian guy can speak pretty well."
It's funny, huh? That's one of my incognito things. If I ever need to just disappear, no one will know I fucking went to, a Latin country.
For real.
Yeah, bro.
I keep seeing this fucking guy keep going viral on my algo. This black dude that moved to Thailand. He's bragging about how
There's so many of those videos. I get so many of them. Yeah.
Why would I go back to America?
Yeah. I like the ones where it's like, people always say that Thailand is dangerous, and it is. Because you're going to get over here, see these beautiful scenery, see these cheap-ass prices, see these beautiful women, and never want to go back. It's very dangerous. Thailand is very dangerous.
That's funny.
But it's true, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Thailand. I got to go back. You definitely got to go, bro. That's homeland, too.
Yeah. And even on top of that, too, like, there's like talks of potentially moving to Philippines for like 3 months with Dylan and a cameraman to maybe potentially go over there and do like an album. So we're still talking numbers right now to see if it's possible, is worth it. And
it's like an experience.
Yeah, that could be something else too. So I'll be really international, fucking on the Asian side and on the Mexican side, bro. So like, it's crazy, bro. It's a blessing, stuff is just happening.
As far as creating content, like we've been pretty consistent with this now, which has been fun. Do you feel any guilt or pressure, or you're not making enough content everywhere else? Because, bro, you do a lot of cool content stuff.
100%. Yeah, I don't know if it's because of like an age thing where I'm just like, I feel forced to have to make content to where I don't really fully enjoy it. I would rather get to a point where it's like Gary Vee. Like, I don't mind being on the camera, in front of the camera, but for me, having to grab the camera, record it, put everything together, it's like, bro, my mind is best used, or time or energy is best spent being a creative in like the music space versus the content side. Maybe it's an excuse because I don't really fully enjoy it, and I understand I have to do it because it's like a brand thing.
That's it.
But if I had the luxury of, paying an up and coming videographer, photographer to follow us for every day and just create content like that more organically, or even do like a stream thing, I would love it. But trying to create content and please people with hooks and all types of catchy ways, it's like, I don't know.
You know what it is,
it's not really fulfilling.
You're so well researched when it comes to content. So much shit behind the curtains. You see how much money it takes for people. Because everybody's always preaching like, just record, bro. Post it, right? But you know how much people actually spend to make their shit go viral.
True. And I know that it's a quantity thing too. So it's like, you can have the one best piece of content, but if it's not the right day, right time, and the algorithm doesn't catch it, people aren't engaging on it, it's like you spend so much effort trying to cultivate the best piece of content that just wasn't placed or posted at the right time. So it's a numbers game now.
Yeah. So for you to post constantly, then it does have to be more enjoyable, more passion, like, because it's easy to post.
Yeah. You definitely have to enjoy being a content creator. Like, you have to position that as your main role now.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just a content creator now that does music. That's how you have to think about it.
Yeah.
But me, it's like, bro, sometimes I just enjoy making music, and I want to make music. Sometimes I don't want to be in front of the camera or nothing. If someone is there recording, great, but I don't want to have to be high energy, because it's like it comes and goes. So like, you lose the momentum of creating content when you can't always flip that switch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True. That's very true.
And I have low test, so it's like so it's like, everything is just that.
You're so funny. Why would you bring it up?
Why wouldn't I? What the fuck? It's a very common thing, man.
It's like, bro, I'm serious. Any man over 30 years old should go get their testosterone tested and do like a full blood panel test.
Yeah.
And then it's good 100%. To know, bro. And then like someone like, okay, but I don't know how to read it. Fine, you upload it to ChatGPT. Yeah, bro, they can read it for you, and whatever questions you have, it can help you.
The people that watch this podcast, like, I have to believe that they all use ChatGPT or some form of AI as much as we talk about it. Like, it should be an extension of you, just how your phone is. Like, anytime you have a thought or any type of question or anything, bro, ChatGPT literally is the internet.
There's
You're
a
speaking to the
challenge
internet.
to any man over 30, bro. Even women too. Book a blood test through LabCorp. It's like $200. It's a little pricey. I get it, but it's worth it.
You scared him.
Huh?
You scared him.
But how much is your health worth, bro? You really think about it.
So I have a better one. So there's a website called Hone Health, Hone. Just look up Hone on Google, and they offer at-home blood tests for $45. So they send you the stuff. You prick your finger. You put it on the paper. You send it to them, and they send you your labs back like 2 or 3 days later after they received it. So that's a good way to get your basis of like what your test is, free T or estrogen, everything. Like it's a pretty good baseline for everything.
Yep.
But I don't think you can reuse it again. Only the first one is $45. But instead of paying $200 for your first one, that's like a very good, just I guess, baseline to see what you're at.
See, this is the great thing about free market. As more this market gets bigger, the more providers are coming up trying to provide the service at a more scalable, more cheaper, more affordable. That's a good thing about, the more we talk about this, the better the market gets.
Yeah, and the thing about men too is like they don't realize that a lot of the reason why they're unmotivated, have low energy, is because their testosterone levels or there's too much estrogen. So you don't necessarily have to get on a test supplement or anything, but to know that a lot of the reason for your lack of motivation, your lack of purpose for getting shit done is because of your hormones. It will make you feel less like a piece of shit, knowing that like, oh, this is just like my hormones. That's why I don't have that extra that dog to keep going. You know,
it's because steroids, testosterone can technically fall under steroids. It's not, but if we're talking very vague, there's such a taboo around steroids. People think it's just for like athletes or gym bros, but no. The reason sports make it illegal because it's such a performance enhancing.
For sure,
it makes you too much better. Which fair enough. It's competition. People are getting paid, but for everyday men, bro, there's no excuse for us to be on it. Especially if you want to keep raising your children right.
For sure.
Energy levels for work.
Mm-hmm. Just better quality of life in general.
And then sexually, bro. Ooh,
yeah, should get you going for sure. Yeah.
You're gonna get bigger.
Yeah, I think, who was it? Was it Mike Malak? I was watching some vlog, and he's like probably 36, 37, 38, somewhere around there. And he was talking about him getting on testosterone replacement therapy, and he's at the clinic before he gets his injection or whatever. I think it was weekly or something. But he was like, fun fact, he was like, the number one, is it consumers or buyers or patients of TRT are actually entrepreneurs. They're not athletes. Yeah. So it's like the people that have so much shit to do and like need that energy to accomplish all they need to do in a day's time are entrepreneurs. They're the ones that are on testosterone the most because it gives you that mental clarity as a man. It gives you that energy to power through on those tasks. You know what I mean? Because
back then we were hunter and gatherers.
Yeah.
If you're a man and you're in your 40s, you're still hunting, bro. Especially because you had to stay in shape. Mm-hmm. You were eating all the time. You're fasting, so your testosterone was more likely to stay up. But we obviously live in the 21st century, so a lot of McDonald's is around and stuff. Our health declined, so it's up to us to get your testosterone up.
Yeah, I to double back, I was like, when you get that baseline of blood work, it's not so you have to get on TRT. It's like so you know you have to make changes. It's like, okay, a better diet will raise your testosterone. Things like Fedosia agressus will raise your testosterone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess ashwagandha kind of does too. There's a legal one called turkesterone that raises your testosterone. Cigars raise your testosterone.
There's a over-the-counter at GNC and stuff.
Yeah.
You can start there too.
Stacks, vitamins, B12. I don't know. There's a lot of supplements out there where you can purchase them online, bodybuilding.com, and change your quality of life by understanding like, damn, I tested at a 200. What the fuck? No wonder I feel like shit all the time. No wonder I'm not motivated. Okay, cool. Change your diet. Fucking take out the sugar, carbs. Go get some over-the-counter vitamins and shit, and
start there.
Start there. If that's not enough, hey man, take a little shot. I haven't done it, but
yeah. And then, the one thing about TRT, once you get on it, you basically want to stay on it.
Yeah,
because the minute you start putting synthetic testosterone in your body, your body gets used to it, so it'll start producing it itself, especially if you get older. Mm-hmm. And then if you get off it suddenly, your shit will drop because your body's so used to you helping it make it. Yeah,
when I was ordering my blood work thing, it was like trying to sell me some shit called HCG, where I guess your body, your you know,
It helps. It helps. It works around it. And it increases your TRT. Yep.
right. So you still produce natural testosterone on top of
Yes.
the synthetic one that you're injecting. So
That's why blood tests are important
yeah,
because they got to make sure you don't have no type of cancer cells, like, because the thing with HCG, you say if you're prone to, like, you're finding some cancer, it can technically make your cancer bigger,
yeah.
because that's what it does. It basically makes your HCG, I think, it makes your cells multiply. So if you have cancer or something, it would make your cancer grow quicker.
Yeah. So hopefully I qualify to get on TRT, and then I'll be updating everyone. You know, that'd be pretty cool. I'll be like a test subject on the fucking pod. They're gonna see me like, oh damn, this nigga, the whole life just changed even more. I'm like, yeah, I just had low test the whole time. I'm just kidding. Yeah, but it's important. You start to learn as you grow up. But it's crazy because you don't have these concerns until after 30. You start to just feel different.
And
you
bro,
know?
and like men that are fighting like pre-diabetes, heart disease, all this shit helps too, bro.
Yeah,
they don't realize it.
Yeah.
Like, you get on some pre-diabetic medicine and stuff. It's like a Band-Aid for it. But you could legit beat it with like real hormonal, we'll call it medicine.
Yeah.
Treatment.
Right. Yeah, I think treatment's the right word.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting, you know.
It's the future. I've been, I geek out about this stuff. So I've been watching the Vegas market, and more like wellness clinics are popping up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they're all being attached to the IVs.
I gotta dabble in that stuff.
Shout out to my boy Nelson, Elite Towing. I put him on IVs, and then he lapped me, bro. He stays on IVs now.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then he learned about NADs. NADs basically what helps makes more cells too, but that's just the most priciest. You can get like a bag, depending on the place, for like $500-$800 a bag, and then it's pretty thick, so it can take up to like 2 or 3 hours for it to put. But some people just fucking shoot it down quick. It's harder, it hurts a little bit, but it's so great for you.
But what does it consist of? NAD, like what is that?
NAD is what it's. We all have NAD in us, and which helps makes more cells. So the minute you put in there, it basically replenishes your cells, which you say if you're recovering from injury, or you just obviously put your energy levels through the roof,
right?
And then it helps helps produce everything else. So let's say it'll help your testosterone. If you're working out and stuff, it'll help make you more testosterone. Everything's just good for you.
Fire.
It's and then it's great for anti-aging. Like one of the best things to do for anti-aging, especially for women. For skin, it's like what makes your body.
Nice.
But that's why it's pricey. It's like $800 a bag.
And how long does that bag last? It's just one go?
One sitting, yeah. But imagine most of us never do it. So if you do it once, bro, it'll go a long way. Especially if you. And then the cool part is, what I've noticed is, you know how when you pay when you pay a high price point for a good quality like that, it makes you respect them more. It makes you want to take it more serious too.
Right, so you're not wasting it too. That's
why I always respect, like, back in the day I was such a hater about like these seminars and entrepreneurs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I used to always think Tony Robbins was like kind of like a scam guy, right? Until you look into it, like, no, this guy's a beast. He's helping change people's lives. But you respect their price point, because if you put it too cheap, anyone's going to come and they're not going to take it serious. But if you make someone go out of the way and take out their wallet, they're going to take it serious too. They already feel invested.
Right.
That's what. So. But the NAD, it's really worth it.
Nice. I'm gonna do more research on that.
Yeah. Fuck, my fucking phone keeps going off. Some customers are trying to get work. Let me handle this real quick.
Yeah. You guys are stuck with me, Mr. Sheffy. How you guys doing? Leave a comment below. Have you been eating good? All right. I don't know if we mentioned it on the last pod, but we attempted to do a 7-day water fast. Let me just update you guys. So, a few of us were doing it, but we ended up getting to day 3, and we were just so starving. We ended up, what did we eat? Hunter and I from the previous pod went to go eat sushi. Right, we went crazy. We went so crazy to the point where like we were refeeding with all these crazy rolls, and like we had so much stomach pain, and you could feel the food like expanding your stomach because it shrinks over 3 days. So we're just sitting there like dying, but happy at the same time, but miserable, but like happy, and it was like fuck. So we get through that, and before we leave, Hunter's like, bro, we gotta get pizza. You know, we gotta get pizza and we'll start eating healthy. But we ended up like staying there too late to where all the pizza shops were closed, so we didn't get an opportunity to eat it. So I'm like, all right, fuck. Next day we go shooting at the range, and he's like, bro, we gotta get pizza and then we can lock in. So we end up getting like 5 pizzas. We get 4 Domino's pizzas, and we get a tavern cut pizza from Pizza Hut and cinnamon sticks boxes. I'll show you pictures.
Oh my God, okay.
And then we end up devouring all 5 of these pizzas.
No way.
We devour all 5 of these pizzas, bro. No exaggeration. Well, me and him were just like, bro, that's why we're such bad crash outs of like, dude, if we start eating in like a downward spiral, bro, we had sushi 6 days in a row.
Dude, I saw this. I didn't want to make it spiritual yet, but I saw this thing where he's like, it was the devil's first trick right away.
It's food.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's like, think about it. The first thing.
That's an outwitting the devil. It's the most common thing used to control people.
Think about the first sin he made a human do. He made Eve eat the fruit. Damn.
So check this out. Look at all these boxes. If can it see? I don't know if it could see, but we destroyed all 5 of these boxes, and then he even sent a video. He said we have a problem because now we unlock cinnamon sticks. So then now we're going crazy over these cinnamon sticks. I'm like going crazy. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I'm like shaking my head like, bro, what the fuck? What the fuck? So we did a 3-day water fast. We end up eating sushi. Then the next day we have cinnamon sticks, and he's gonna show you the empty boxes. We destroyed all these pizzas, bro. Like all those are empty. So let's see. So look, he's gonna open them all. Look, empty. This one's empty.
You guys are bees.
So then we come over here on the couch and we start sitting down, and I'm like, I think we gotta fast again, bro. I think we gotta fast again because
that was ridiculous.
We just fucked it all up. We just undid our 3 days fasting.
Bro, you woke into my life. That's what I've been doing every time.
So I'm like, fuck, we gotta fast again. So we decided to do a 5-day fast, and then now we're eating again on Sunday, and today's Thursday.
Nice.
Yeah.
So is the challenge Sunday to be more disciplined after? Cause that's what I keep learning on these fasts.
Bro, I already bought chicken breast, ground beef. I already have broccoli, so everything is already prepped and ready to lock in.
Sweet.
You know what I mean? And it's been like that even after that first. I'm like, all right, bro, we'll eat sushi pizza tonight, but next day we're locking in.
Sweet.
Then we had pizza, and I started to regret it. I'm like, bro, we have to finish the fast.
Yeah.
Like we got to go back and do the fast.
Hell
you
yeah.
know. So now we're doing it. We worked out yesterday. They went in the sauna. I hit legs. Worked out today. He just left the gym, so it's like, yeah, we're,
you guys just carb overloaded, bro. That's
yeah, a little bit of guilt. So we're just, finishing what we said we're gonna do. So now we're just kind of like, fuck.
Yeah.
Could have just been eating good and hitting the gym by now, you know.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
We just sometimes like to go dancing, bro.
I know, just back and forth.
The good thing is you don't go out no more, so that's your night out. 5 boxes of pizza.
That's way funner than going to the club, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That, to me, call it what you want, man.
My fat ass is like, pizza at the club.
I mean, you tell me, hey, bro, you want to go chill backstage at the club and, turn up, or you want to go all you can eat sushi? For a motherfucker like me who eats the same shit every day, you put all you can eat sushi in my face, hey, man, that's better than being at the club with some bitches, bro.
Let's roll.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take me to sushi.
Yeah. I want to get back to the original temptation was food. I think that's really interesting.
What?
No, the
Outwitting the devil?
Yeah, stuff, yeah. I had no idea he talked about that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw a video the other day. He's like,
even Buddha says it, bro. Like, not Buddha. There's a famous quote where, like, if you can't control what you put in your mouth, you can't control anything in your life, or it has something to do with that. Wow.
Yeah, when the me, I'm always more Christian based. So when someone said, like, think about it, the first temptation ever was
the apple,
that food, yeah, the fruit. Like, oh shit, yeah, and like that's the best way to control population through food first. Yeah. We can talk about propaganda, this, propaganda that, but everybody got to eat.
Isn't it interesting how much shit they put in food though?
Yeah,
like bad shit.
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah. We could get conspiracy, but at the end of the day, a lot of it is just to preserve it, bro. Additives. So when you're trying to provide for 300 million people.
Yeah,
it's easier. Like China, like China, bro. Some areas of China it gets weird, bro. Like these these pig. I try to stay away from pigs, eating pig, because it kind of grosses me out now. Because pigs eat anything, bro.
Yeah, they're
So-
garbage disposals.
Yeah, and so if you're eating mass productive pork, God knows where you're eating what those foods ate. And so in China, you hear about fucking. There's like some bathrooms where you go to the bathroom, you shit, and boom, they go straight down to a pig hen.
What? That
Yes.
can't be real.
Yeah, well, like it's not like fucking the big cities of China. You're talking about like little towns.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's so interesting. Yeah, it's fucking very interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I've been getting a lot recently on my YouTube shorts is like, it'll be like cinematic, not time lapses, but compilations of like beautiful places in Tokyo, Japan, like,
Yeah.
or just in Japan, not in Tokyo, because it shows Kyoto, so many places. I get Switzerland ones now. And it's like, bro, there's a whole other world
Yeah.
out there of just beautiful places.
Tokyo's trying to get so much people. Tokyo's in an interesting spot because they're obviously, I've talked about this all the time. They're having a population decline. Like they're in a crisis. Like they need to start making more babies. But they're very reserved culture where they only want Japanese people there now.
Yeah.
But they're kind of having to invite foreigners to come in
Yeah.
to not tourism, to come live there, help repopulate. But I think a lot of them are hesitant because like, no, we want to reserve the culture. But unfortunately, this culture kind of made it a work only honor, and it messed up their fertility rates.
So let me ask something. Maybe I'm just super uneducated on it, but when you think of Egypt, you have like pyramids. Like Thailand has really cool temples. Japan has all these cool temples and gardens, and a lot of old stuff culturally that's been preserved. What in the States is like that equivalent of something that we've had landmarked from a long time ago? Like what are old buildings in the States where it's like,
So
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, Grand Canyon is a
See, but that's not built by man,
okay,
though. I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about like what has been built by man that's been preserved over time to like not solidify,
Yeah.
but show this is the culture from back in the day.
Empire State Building probably is one of the older buildings.
But I still feel like that's still modern, though.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, okay. Yeah, bro.
like, what's older? You know?
Yeah.
Do we not? Are we just such a way newer country, or like,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm. Yep.
I'm not really.
Yeah. What you could do, go like Arizona, New Mexico, and you can see like old ruins from like the Native Americans, stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Oh, that's what I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
but-
Yeah.
But it's very, it's more. You got to be very interested because it's not very grand.
Because like one example that I could think of,
And
where-
who knows how much should be destroyed?
yeah, that I went to when I was younger was the Alamo. I watched the Alamo movie.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very interesting, and that's kind of like a historical
Yep. That's a good point.
landmark. But what else is there?
Mount Rushmore.
That's a good example. Mount Rushmore.
I'm trying to think of anything else. Like the Golden State Bridge is pretty impressive. We built that in the early 1900s, but that's not. That's,
Are there pyramids in the States?
Um.
Because there's some in Mexico, there's some in Egypt, there's fucking, I guess Antarctica. I don't know.
That's a good question. We might have to have. Not that I know of.
Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to get to is like how old really is civilization
Yeah.
in the in the North America, United
Yeah.
States, where in all these other countries there's so much stuff to show you back in the day.
Yeah.
But when you think about the States, it's like all we have is all these new buildings,
It's
high
interesting.
rises.
Like the U.S. is. This is funny. I think it's how universe is very ironic.
Yeah.
U.S. is like the pillar of like modern civilization. Like Shanghai now and like what's that popular city everybody loves to go to? Like they don't even allow gum there. Shit, I'm having a brain fart.
What, Seattle?
No, in
It's the
Asia.
opposite.
It starts with an S.
I don't know.
Whatever. But as far as Western civilization, U.S. one of the top countries, right?
Yeah.
But we're very brand new. But back in the day, the most bigger civilizations was like down south, Mexico, Central America.
Yeah.
I think America was more native. Like it was more U.S. where we live now is more like Native American. It was more old fashioned, I think.
Yeah, that's what's always interesting to me is like
Yeah.
I see stuff on my feed of I don't even know where the fuck it is, but there's like pyramids up in some mountains,
And then
up a crazy hill.
yeah, and
but
then
we have
and
nothing
it
like
makes
that
sense
here.
why civilizations were able to last longer, like more in Mexico, Central America, because the temperature's more moderate. It's more U.S., bro.
Equator shit.
Yeah, U.S. is a lot of severe weather sometimes, bro. And then a lot of fucking tornadoes. Imagine back in the day, 1800s or 1500s, fucking a devil wind coming for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to fucking have a civilization.
Right.
Or then hurricanes by Florida. So I think the U.S. always it was probably harder to have like big civilizations with Mother Nature up here. So I think more down south you got to worry more about volcanoes and stuff. But that was about it, and more tropical weather. We're just here brainstorming, obviously, but
yeah, it's just a random thought because I keep seeing all these cool Kyoto, Japan stuff. I'm like, well, why don't we have anything like that here? Or were we just later to where we just have skyscrapers?
Yeah.
And the only thing I could think of is Alamo, where it's like, all right, this happened a while ago. But even then, that's still pretty modern compared to all the other stuff that you see.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It doesn't look as cool either. It's like, it's kind of mid, honestly.
And then, bro, there's probably Native Americans. If anyone's watching, they're probably screaming at us like there's probably some crazy stuff out there we have no idea about.
Yeah. Right.
Like I done the. Damn, I forgot what the hike's called. It's a famous hike now where you got to reserve like a year ahead. Down, you drive like 3 hours into Arizona, and then it's inside the Grand Canyon, and there's a Native American tribe that lives in the Grand Canyon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
And but now they made it to a tourist spot, and they host people, and that's what their moneymaker. But they've supposed to been living there for centuries.
Wow.
Yeah. The Grand Canyon, there's so many cool conspiracies. Like there's so many. Some people say there's portals.
Oh god.
But there's also like I saw a cool video yesterday where this guy was claiming about how the Grand Canyon was tarot. We basically mined the whole earth, and that's why the Grand Canyon is just cracks, because we fucking mined the shit out of it supposedly back in the day. Tarot. We'll call it tarot mining, basically.
A lot of drugs in that guy.
You ever seen those videos where people like they'll Google something and they'll put that J. Cole song and then the conspiracy starts. They'll Google something and they'll put things that align with it.
Expressions. Oh, yeah, I've seen so many of those.
That was a video.
Like Disney and fucking Illuminati shit, Beyonce.
And you know what's the so funny part? So they're the conspiracy guys, but then the content guy comes out and they get mad at the other guys stealing their themes. End of the day, like, hey, this is my mojo, bro. This is my thing.
So they're just stealing sauce. But
yeah, so they're all
a few guys that do that method.
But the original guy gets mad, but the other guy's still stealing the sauce.
That's funny.
And they, bro, monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, that's one of the like formulas for creating content online is taking what's already working.
Yeah.
And repackaging it.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You know? Just see what works and make it your own, basically. Yeah. Still like an artist.
As far as what's the word I'm looking for? Entrepreneur. Like Tony Robbins, what would you call him? He's
I guess he'd be a motivational speaker.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
like transformational coach, life coach.
Who, is it the same guys or is there any
mindset coach?
You can tell those guys are way more positive. They don't get butthurt. They don't get when people copy him, right? Like some of the conspiracy guy, he gets butthurt when people copy his swag.
Yeah.
But my question is, no, I'm answering myself now that about to ask. I was gonna say, is it still the same guys on top? But you see new guys coming up, and it's all about niche now too. Like that black guy that's killing it.
100%.
His whole niche is he coaches online trainers.
Yeah, I think what you're seeing now is, it went from everything is getting very like specialized, niched, like sub-niched. So you have a lot of guys in certain spaces doing a lot of the same information that's taken from motivational speakers, but to put themselves as professionals in a certain space.
Yeah.
So yeah, now with the internet, it's put everything more into pockets, like algorithms. For example, my mom, if she's on TikTok, she gets all cooking stuff.
Yeah.
My dad will get all house stuff. I get all music or whatever motivational stuff. So now everything is being more compartmentalized because everyone has certain interests.
Yeah.
So there is those type of people to motivate and inspire, but in categorized niches now. So it's kind of like Yeah, everything's just subgenre basically.
Yeah, that's
you know,
what it is. Yeah.
but it's because of the internet.
Niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
You think we're gonna get to a point again where like it'll be like a Game of Thrones kind of show that gets everybody locked in? Or we thought everybody was locked in, but it was just a small part.
It's because we were locked in.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, you're always gonna see new stuff come out. Because before, I think Game of Thrones was like the most viewed show. Then
Yeah.
Squid Games came out.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be something bigger and better
Yeah,
because we just evolve.
Yeah.
It's
The
just who
thing
we
with
are.
the problem with Netflix is they tell you what the numbers are. With the
Yeah.
with network television and cable, there's the Nielsen ratings where they had access to it.
Shout out to Nelson.
and they would post the numbers.
Yeah.
But Netflix, like, they got all the numbers like Spotify, and they'll show, yeah, number one show.
Right.
But our data, you gotta know. You know it's number one show.
Yeah, same thing with music too, though. So you can strategically put out a show, and if they're the ones controlling when shows come out, it's like they get to handpick when a show's gonna be number one,
Yeah.
when a movie's gonna be number one. So same thing with albums and music, like they can kind of tailor make when a lot of these albums come out, so they'll be number one when it comes
Dude,
out.
it's
You know what I
crazy.
mean?
Netflix held off all these streaming giants, all these TV giants, and they're still the number one streaming. They held off. They're the
Nice.
best when it comes to streaming.
Yeah.
As far as streaming TV, streaming entertainment. No, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, it pays off to be first, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely does.
Fucking Disney now. You go to Disney, you can watch Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. No, I went on and there's some crazy ass shows.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, what the fuck?
Disney's like, fuck it, they
this
just-
ain't very Disney.
Yeah, Disney.
We gotta compete. We need serial killer shit. We need some everything we can think of.
Yeah. It's funny, bro.
And then you see parents getting mad, like, I can't believe this is on Disney.
Yeah.
It's
So you
like,
gotta,
whoa, just like Netflix, just kid accounts, bro.
yeah, you gotta make the age restrictions.
Yeah.
Last thing that we could call it a pod. Earlier I was thinking about how, you know how everybody says you need an online brand, online personality,
Mm-hmm.
but then what it is, you need to be your own business. That's all it is, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I was thinking earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt. Like how you need to know how to run your own business. You need to know, or have someone under you to delegate.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're always gonna be your own business.
For sure.
Even if you're fucking working for somebody, you get a W-2. You still gotta do your own taxes. You still gotta pay your own bills. You're technically always your own business.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of you want to operate the most profit margin. And then the cool part is ethically too. You want to be whatever your morals are, your principles are. You if you could abide by that, bro, it's a good life. The other day I was working for a customer, and we stayed up working late until like 6 p.m. and I had to go see the same customer do a different job next morning, 7 a.m. And I saw him the next morning, and I was like, "Did you get any rest?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "When you go to sleep guilt free, bro, you can knock out like nothing." I'm like, "That's right. That's true."
I sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's just cool to see how everything that Gary Vee was talking about 5-6 years ago, but like people are gonna think you're crazy with a cameraman following you around.
Yeah.
Now that's all you see. Everyone is now live streaming
Yep.
everywhere they go. So every concept that he talked about 6 years ago, seeing how everything has transpired and evolved, it's like, dude, everything this guy said has become true with TikTok, with Facebook ads at the time, with how content's being created. It's like this guy hasn't missed one time.
There's a joke online of like, if you don't want to be on someone's stream, just say like words they don't want you to say, like "Free Palestine" or "Taiwan's a country." No, you'll get off the stream right away.
That's so funny. That's funny.
Because at the end of the day, bro, a lot of people are still slaves to the algo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your boy Myron, he's been going hard on
Bro?
Israel.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of fell off on that Fresh and Fit stuff.
So
It's a lot of the same information.
yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
but-
when you feel like, when you already kind of understand male and female dynamics, it's like it's a lot of repeated information.
Yeah.
So just with the Gary Vee thing is he's gonna tell you a lot of the same shit, but you have to understand it and apply it. Same thing with all this red pill shit. You gotta understand how the world works. Just be a better man, and by byproduct, everything else, your relationships will be
Yeah.
better. So that's their whole thing is just
Yep.
creating better men.
Yeah.
So just like Tate, they're gonna say a lot of crazy shit,
Yeah.
but it's coming from a good place, and a
Yeah.
lot of people just don't have
That's what it's about.
the emotional intelligence to receive it the right way.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
a big part, bros, man.
Yeah.
We don't realize how important, even women too, how important emotional intelligence is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Damn, my ADHD's kicking in. Last thought.
What's up?
Tony Robbins. He's been big lately on hormonal stuff.
Really?
Yes, he started up a clinic, online
Nice.
thing about
Cool.
getting tested and
Good.
yeah, it's the
Yeah.
future, bro.
Yeah, I feel like we should follow that Brian guy a little closer too, because he's kind of at the forefront of all this biohacking.
The guy that wants to live forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think he's gonna make a lot of big, significant, like impacts in that space, because he's kind of guinea pigging himself.
he just
with
freaks
a lot
me
of
out, bro. I
stuff.
don't like how he looks.
Yeah, it's a crazy ass skincare routine. You know? He does look crazy, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
with the betterment of humanity.
Yep.
I love people like that who have such high purpose. You know?
Yep. Yeah, he's thinking he is cool.
Yeah, it's dope though.
Pretty good pod for wing pod.
For a wing pod, not
Yeah.
bad. We should order some wings now.
Stay strong, brother. Stay strong.
Fuck. But yeah, my last words is take care of your health. You know, fucking keep track, keep metrics. You know, if you don't know why you're feeling a certain way, go get your blood work done. You know, see what's going on in your life, see what changes you can make. So at the end of the day, we're all just trying to be better people. You know, so
Yeah,
that's really it.
yeah. It can make you better spiritually,
Yeah.
mentally, obviously physically.
100%.
It can improve your relationships, your work
Yeah.
life. Yeah, sometimes people always sometimes like they don't know where to start.
Right.
Start with your blood test.
Start with your blood work. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Simple as that. That's a great way to end it.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We out of here. Peace.
Hangover pod.